Start.
Hello, I'm Officer Knights. Introduction to Mathematical Autobiography, Carl Friedrich Gauss. Johann Carl Friedrich Gauss was a German mathematician and physicist who made significant contributions to many fields in mathematics and science. Sometimes referred to as the Princeps Mathematicorum, Latin for the foremost of mathematicians, and the greatest mathematician since antiquity. Gauss had an exceptional influence in many fields of mathematics and science, and is ranked among history's most influential mathematicians. When he was 3 years old, he corrected a math error his father made, and that when he was 7, he confidently solved an arithmetic series problem, sum of 100 terms from 1 to 100. The calculation was very long, he would have some calculation mistakes. Later, the technique was replaced by sum of arithmetic progression. There are 100 terms, say n equals 100. First term, say a equals 1, and the difference, say d equals 1. That means the first term equals the difference by 1. The formula of sum of arithmetic progression is given by S1 equals n by 2 times 2a plus n minus 1 the whole multiplied by d. When you solve, the answer returns in the form of 101 times 50, that is 5050. The problem he faced that it was very impossible and long calculation, that found out to be rather than 5050, it can be greater, or less than 5050 for the miscalculation. If he is expert otherwise, he would calculate much faster than anyone else in his class of 100 students. Later, the prime number theorem, conjectured on the 31st of May, gave a good understanding of how the prime numbers are distributed among the integers. It all begins with 2, as it is an even prime number, except 0 and 1. Then odd numbers begin with 3, then 5, then 7, then 11, then 13 and so on. On the contrary, some odd numbers have a multiple of 3, 5, 7 etc. Also for the even numbers too, like 4, 6, 8, 10 and so on. Simple question can be found out as it says, what is the maximum single-digit prime number? It is said to be 7, except 9, which is a multiple of 3. In 1845, he became an associated member of the Royal Institute of the Netherlands. When that became the Royal Netherlands Academy of Arts and Sciences in 1851, he joined as a foreign member. In 1855, he died due to a heart attack and was buried inside the graveyard. The dates can be marked and with a description to read on the tombstone. According to Guy Waldo Dunnington, he described Gauss's religious views. For him science was the means of exposing the immortal nucleus of the human soul. In the days of his full strength, it furnished him recreation and, by the prospects which it opened up to him, gave consolation. Toward the end of his life, it brought him confidence. Gauss's God was not a cold and distant figment of metaphysics, nor a distorted caricature of embittered theology. To man is not vouchsafed that fullness of knowledge which would warrant his arrogantly holding that his blurred vision is the full light and that there can be none other which might report the truth as does his. For Gauss, not he who mumbles his creed, but he who lives it, is accepted. He believed that a life worthily spent here on earth is the best, the only, preparation for heaven. Religion is not a question of literature, but of life. God's revelation is continuous, not contained in tablets of stone or sacred parchment. A book is inspired when it inspires. The unshakable idea of personal continuance after death, the firm belief in a last regulator of things, in an eternal, just, omniscient, omnipotent God, formed the basis of his religious life, which harmonized completely with his scientific research. Henceforth, this is the complete autobiography of about Carl Friedrich Gauss. Like, comment, and subscribe now.